Connection Network Incorporated podcast right here in the city of Baton Rouge, in North Baton Rouge, and I'm so glad that you're connected with us. But we want you to share this out with your friends. Tell a friend, tell a friend, and tell a friend. Hey, Community Connection Network is on the air, and you don't want to miss this informative community because we have a lot of information to give and to share with you. But I'm not alone. I am Angella Wynn, one of your hosts. I have along with me none other than Pastor David Cowan. He's going to be hosting with me as well, but we have a special guest who is not a guest in the house. And I'm going to let him introduce himself as well. But hey, go on and tell somebody. Share this out. Because we want you to be informed, connected, and we want to grow together.
Amen. Awesome. Now listen, we're so excited you're with us, and we're experiencing a great impact on what we're doing. And we're endeavoring to empower you, the people of North Baton Rouge and surrounding parishes, even those outside of Baton Rouge, Louisiana, those who are ones who lived in Louisiana but moved away, and you moved in, you lived in North Baton Rouge, and you moved outside of North Baton Rouge, but yet the foundation has been laid, the seed has been sown where you started from. And so we are here today and every week to empower you with daily information, updated information about what's going on in North Baton Rouge and how you play a vital role and how you can become a partner with CCNI to partnership to bring about change. Yes. Everlasting change. Yes. Perpetual change for generations to come. So we're empowering you, and we thank you for being a part of what's going on. Today also with us is our special guest and partner with us here with CCNI, amen, Brother Gregory Allen, and who one of our strategists, yes, who one has strategic information to impart to us about the city of Baton Rouge. I believe that God has a plan for this city. God has a plan for your individual community and how you can play a vital role in bringing change. CCNI foundationally is about self-government. It's about the people controlling their own communities. The destiny of North Baton Rouge has to be controlled by the people of North Baton Rouge, not the political arena. We must change the strip, take control of our destiny and our purpose where we live. Because when we are waiting on government to change it, we're waiting too long for the infrastructure to be changed. We have put too many years in, we'll pay too many taxes not to have the changes we deserve to have. So CCNI, along with its partnership, is designed to bring radical, spontaneous, right now change in our community, in our areas. So connect, stay focused with it, don't get distracted, stay with us the whole time, and each time we come on the air, we want you to be a part of the conversation as well, to interact with us. So those channels and line would begin to connect so you can tag in. Yes. Let us hear what you're saying, what you're thinking, because you have questions, we have answers. And so we're going to let our special partner and our special guest today, Brother Allen, share who he is and what he does and what's on his heart today about North Baton Rouge.
Thank you, Pastor Cowan and Angela. It is certainly a pleasure to be here. My name is Gregory D. Allen. I am managing partner at Allen Strategy Group. We're an urban development consultancy that specializes in the development or design of urban projects. It is certainly a pleasure for me to work with Angela and Pastor Wynn to try and create change, not try and, but to create change in the North Baton Rouge community. I am a son of North Baton Rouge. I grew up in the city of Scotlandville, attended Scotlandville High School. I've lived in the city of Atlanta for the last 37 years. And earlier this year, I decided to move back home so that I could be a part of the revitalization of our city. I've had the opportunity to work with Pastor Cowan and Angella Wynn, a number of other people in Baton Rouge over the last 6 months or so, to try and create a number of projects and opportunities for the community to begin revitalizing itself. It is my belief that all urban communities are created from within. They start with the people in the community. It is our intent through Community Connection Network to try and gather the community or galvanize the community so that we can start to recognize some of that change. Unfortunately, change does come to urban communities. But when that change happens, we refer to it as gentrification. It is our intent to gentrify this community with the people who live in this community. So if you want to be a part of that process, I certainly invite you, along with the pastor and Angella, to come into this group, become a part of it, share this information with your friends, with your family, with your neighbors. Let them know that there's an organization in North Baton Rouge that is developing a strategic plan to revitalize our community, to give our schools back to our parents and the children, to revitalize infrastructure in our community, to start to provide the necessary facilities and activities that our children and families need to grow, and also to attract the people who are in the country that are from North Baton Rouge and from the Baton Rouge area that have been, if not forced, have chosen to move out of the community. We're trying to entice them to come back. We think that a part of that economic growth, a part of what we're attempting to do here, will help to attract those people back to our city. We still have a great number of things to offer in North Baton Rouge. We have one of the greatest colleges in the world in Southern University in North Baton Rouge. We have the Baton Rouge Metropolitan Airport here in North Baton Rouge. We have plenty of available space to grow and expand here in North Baton Rouge. We have the people in North Baton Rouge that are available to do the work that needs to be done. It is just a question of trying to galvanize our community and bring us back together as a family that'll allow us to create the type of environment that we need to create in order to make our community that shining light at the top of the hill. And that is our intent to try and accomplish that through Community Connection Network.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because we're better together than we are separated. And even though we have our individual identity, agency, plans, and groups that we have around our city from various different kind of works, we're not here to compete. We're here to complement by bringing all this under the same umbrella through a connection where everybody get involved and everybody benefit versus being separated and competing against each other, business or agencies. Healthy competition is good because you got Burger Kings, McDonald's, you got different franchises here, fast food here in our city, some on the same corner, just down the street from each other. So competitive is not too bad, but the idea is when you don't have the same goal, you don't have the same vision, then it brings separatism. And that's what we're trying to pull down that wall by bringing unification so that our strengths cover our weaknesses and we can strengthen those who are weak to rise up to the top so they can begin to be productive and also prosperity come into their business in their communities. But what we have right now is the idea is we have the takers in our community. People who own the businesses in our community do not support our community, do not even get involved in our community. When we're having gun violence, when we're having drug violence, when we're having our kids being shot in the streets and against each other, you know, they don't participate and have a rally cry about the crime in our area. They're here to do business only, and once they get their pay, they leave out the community. They go to their subdivision, they support their vision, their subdivision, and also their agendas. And so therefore, as Brother Allen was sharing with me across the week, was the idea is there's a certain large percentage of the business population in our city, North Baton Rouge, is not owned by us. So these people are controlling the economics that come, the wealth, the money that comes in our community every week. These are the collectors of that money. This is where you go spend your money. And then they take your money and takes it out. So your school system is not getting the extra they could be getting from the community support to put equipment in there, computers in there, or whatever these schools' education needs are not being supported. Why? Because the money is leaving out of the community. The money is leaving out of the community. So share with me the percentage you were sharing with me.
He did a survey.
We conducted a survey along the Plank Road corridor, business corridor, earlier this year to try and establish a merchants association. In conducting that study, we discovered that over 76% of the businesses owned along the Plank Road business corridor are owned by immigrant business owners or immigrant entrepreneurs, primarily Asian and Arab-owned businesses. What we talked about was the fact that when we have these community gatherings, when we try and come together as a community to address some of the issues that are confronting our communities, we rarely see any of these individuals at the meetings.
Yeah.
And I will tell you, Pastor, I'm a firm believer in the adage that until you ask the right questions, the answers are always going to be wrong.
Right.
We talk about crime in our communities and deterioration of infrastructure in our communities, but we always attach those elements of the community to cultural differences or poor parenting or the inability of or the lack of fathers in homes.
Right.
What we never talk about is disinvestment in the community, abject poverty in the community. We never talk about mental health in the community. Crime is a science. It is not something that we don't know about or we don't understand what causes crime. All of the things that I just mentioned to you are scientifically proven to cause crime. But until we address those issues, then, you know, dwelling on the cultural deficiencies that we have in our community are really just a song that we sing through the news media and through other publications about what the deficiencies are, but we're not really addressing the problems. What our goal is to create an economic environment that alleviates poverty, that addresses the question of mental health. I will tell you that there are individuals who go into military environments or into war zones. An individual can join the military, be deployed to a war zone for 6 months. During that 6 months of deployment, he might be a cook or a mechanic. He never sees any real military action. He's in a military environment, but he never really sees any true action on the front line. That same cook or mechanic can come back home, apply for military benefits as an individual who suffers from PTSD, and he'll be declared 100% eligible because he spent 6 months in a war zone as a cook. The same thing applies to some of these disinvested communities. You have children that grow up in these communities all their lives, but we never talk about how they might suffer from PTSD, how they may have mental health issues, how some of the things that they've dealt with over the course of their life might affect the crime in our community. We have to be able to address those things ourselves as a community, because it's obvious that we're not going to get that type of attention from the powers that be, if you will, or the political establishment, or certainly the police force. We have to be able to identify these issues ourselves. We have to be able to attack them as a family would attack them. If we find that these individuals are suffering from mental illnesses or they have mental issues that haven't been dealt with, then we need to put ourselves in a position to address those things. And the same thing applies for housing, applies for infrastructure in the community. We're working now with the local councilman in District 2 to try and address the issue of reclaiming our sidewalks, curbs, and gutters in our neighborhoods. The perception of poverty is often linked to what you see around you every day.
The upkeep.
The upkeep of what's surrounding you every day.
Right.
If you drive to other areas of town and you drive down a main thoroughfare and you see the curbs and gutters clean, the sidewalks well kept, you feel better about that community.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you drive through our community and you see grass growing down in the street, the curbs haven't been edged in 25 years, the gutters haven't been cleaned out in 20 years, there's trash that litters all of the intersections, the major intersections in the community. These are deficiencies that we need to address as a community, and we need to enlist the services of our political elected officials to assist us in that effort. But we have to be vocal about it. We have to allow people the opportunity to be able to speak to the things that they feel will improve the quality of their lives. And those are some of the things that we hope to work on with Community Connection Network, as well as the political leaders in our community, to try and address some of those issues.
Absolutely.
Some of the things that you actually just talked about, like the gutters and cleaning the sidewalks, that gives a person mindset, put them in a different zone per se. So, you know, and when you do that in a community, we all know that it changes the community mindset.
Right, exactly.
You know, they'll think twice before they throw that paper out the window or whatever the case may be.
Sure.
You know, because the streets are always clean.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, all of that speaks to the community mindset. That's a big, big piece of that pie.
That's right. And that's where it starts. It starts in our trying to, first of all, educate our community about the deficiencies that we are living with every day.
Right.
Then it has to do with our ability to convince those individuals that we have the power to make those changes.
Yes.
Yes, we can solicit assistance and support from our local elected officials, from our national elected officials, such that they are in these days and times. But that's a subject for another podcast. But I think that it's important that we establish a mindset within the community that we have the capability to do these things. Right. These things are not beyond us. And we don't have to expend tons of money to do it.
Right.
We're talking about building a network that offers individuals an opportunity to participate and support the network, so that we can realize some of the changes that we want to see in our community for what is essentially lottery ticket money.
Right, absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
We're not really asking the community to dig in your pockets and pay out large or huge sums of money in order to accomplish this.
Wow.
But as you both have mentioned earlier in the broadcast, if we do things collectively, it makes things easier for everyone. And again, we're not talking about huge contributions on an individual basis. We're talking about minuscule but regular contributions to a process and to a network where you're going to see in real time the things that we've laid out for you. We're not talking about a 10-year plan, a 15-year plan. We're talking about a plan that will afford you the opportunity to see in real time what your monies are being invested in. Certainly we can ask the city, well, we've got 15, 20 miles of sidewalks that need to be repaved, and it's going to cost us $2 million to do that. We can certainly go to the city and go to our elected officials and ask for that, and we can wait 10 years for it to happen, for it to come up in the budget, for it to be put in next year's budget, for them to go through the bid process, for them to disperse the bids, for the work to begin, and maybe 3-4 years from now, we'll start to see some movement in the repair of our sidewalks. Or we can decide as a community, we're not going to wait that long.
Absolutely.
The children aren't going to wait that long.
That's right.
We're going to make our community a walkable community.
Yes.
We're going to provide for our children the green space that they need to go out and play. We're going to provide for them the safety in their community that they need in order to enjoy their lives. These are things that we can do as a community, and that is our goal. Our goal is to bring that strategy to you and to all of the community, and to try and accomplish the things that we can do for ourselves.
Yes.
Ourselves. That's right.
Right.
And that's what CCNI is all about. Again, is doing for ourselves what we've been expecting for years, the political arena to come in our community to do for us, which has not happened. Has not happened. But we can bring change. We can be the difference makers in our own communities. So you ask, well, how can I connect? How can I become a partner? Listening to Brother Allen share, it's going to be a lottery size. You can purchase a ticket, a lottery ticket kind of money. You know, I'm talking money that you're giving your kids for snacks. No money that you go for a whole year. I happened to go to Raising Cane, which is one we have one here in North Baton Rouge, and I went there and ordered a box combo, and it was like almost $12.
Yep.
So we're talking about 1 million people giving $1 per month, which is $12. A year, not going there and getting a 3-finger or 4-finger, whatever it is, you know, for $12, and you got to come back tomorrow and repeat it all over again. No, we're talking about 1 million people giving $1 per year. You know, we have the ability.
Yes.
We have the ability because when we look at the statistic, we see that Louisiana has over 1,200,000 African Americans is in Louisiana. So we have the ability to make the difference. Not talking about the people who have moved from the community or even outside of the state, that you're saying, I want to give back. So this is what we have. We have Southern University, a higher education facility, institution, who has educated thousands and thousands and graduated thousands of people who have gone on to national and international positions, but have not given back to the community. Not only blacks, we're talking about white, we're talking about Asians as well, who grew up in these communities. Because these communities, before it became black, it was white owned. White operated the majority of this. Before we began to come from Mississippi, Clinton, Louisiana, and come into the inner city. But then you moved out. But this was your ground roots. This is where you grew up and said, well, how can I give back to support that area? This is one of the ways you can do that. Not only will you be helping to reclaim the area, but you also begin to cause crime to go down in the whole state. You know, and therefore we can rid crime out of these neighborhoods by giving opportunities, presenting opportunities.
Right.
So, Sister Angela, how can people connect with us, and what can they do to connect? How can they connect with us?
Well, we have a website. Our website is Community Network Inc.org. You can go on there. We have all of the things that we talked about today, or what we're getting ready. Some more things that we're going to be adding to it. A well of information, like I told you. So you do want to connect. Also, I know we have Zephy, right?
Yes.
Okay, Zephy. You can as ZEFFY.
ZEFFY.
.org, I think it is.
I'm not sure if Zephy is a .org or a .com, but Zephy is a fundraising website that affords us the opportunity to make collections through our web. Yes, I think it is .com.
Yes,
but it affords us the opportunity to collect money for our nonprofit organization. And I think that Angela did mention that Community Connection Network is a nonprofit organization.
yes.
So even if you gave $12 a year or $1 a month, it too is tax deductible.
Right.
So what we want to do is we want to create a very transparent methodology for our donors to give. Let me just add to Angela before you elaborate on how these individuals can connect with us. The pastor mentioned that we're also looking outside of the state of Louisiana to individuals that this was their home. They may have lived in this neighborhood or lived in this community as a student at the university. They may have worked for one of the larger employers here in North Baton Rouge, ExxonMobil or Amazon, and have decided that they wanted to move to a larger environment. Baton Rouge, North Baton Rouge, is a blank canvas for investors and entrepreneurs.
Absolutely.
We're creating for you the opportunities to come back into this community and to build your fortune.
Right.
If we build a community that is well-run, well-managed, clean, safe community,
Yes.
we believe that you will come back and invest in the community.
Right.
Rather than buy rent houses or build new rental apartments or building a business in some of these other cities, we have everything here in Baton Rouge that you need in order to have and grow a successful business or to become a successful investor. All we're asking is that you work with us in order to make that happen for you. And as I said, we're not doing this as a long-term strategy. We're doing this so that you can see in real time
Yes, real time.
the changes that are being made so that you'll be able to recognize what those opportunities are.
Right. We are solution focused on changing the narrative of North Baton Rouge, and we want to do it with you because you are, y'all may say the tribe, you are the ones that will come in and synergize and help undergird and hold up the arms of what CCNI is doing, Community Connection Network. So, and we want you to be involved in it. So go on over to the website. Like I stated, that's Community Network, inc.org, or you can go to Zeffy, ZEFFY.com and look up Community Connection Network, INC there, and you can give. You can start as low as $1, whatever you want to start with, but you don't just have to do $1. You might want to do $5 or $10 a month. Hey, $10, you spend that at Dollar Tree or Raising Cane or McDonald's. So hey, take the time and think about it if you choose to, and some of you don't need to think about it. You know we need change right here in North Baton Rouge, and we are the ones to make it happen. We want to be the solutions to what's going on, and we have the wisdom, we have the knowledge, we have the understanding, and we want you to be involved. So hey, tell a friend. Like I said, it's going to take a village, and we are that village to make it happen. And it's not just about us.
No, it's about bringing together the whole North Baton Rouge.
Yes.
We're talking about entrepreneurs. We're talking about retirees.
Right.
Those who have gone and said, look, I still got a lot of life in me. What can I do to give back?
Yes.
We need volunteers to come on board. Those who are still students at Southern University or high schools that can give your time and says, I want to participate. How can I get involved? We're talking also about the business owners of North Baton Rouge, down the airline and Plank Road corridors. Those who got business stores. We're talking about pastors. Listen, we may not get to calling each one of you individually,
Right.
but this is a personal invite to community connection, to connect with us, that whenever we're having meetings, we want to see you in the meeting, saying how can our partnership, those of you are pastors, those of you are leaders of the community, how can I connect, be a part of these meetings, because your gift makes a difference. Your skills and your ability makes the difference of how we can achieve these goals. This is not an impossible goal. It's just one that has not been looked into, unifying the whole city of North Baton Rouge in one umbrella and dealing with the economic system. You know, not sitting waiting on government grants, but it's us putting our dollars together to become millions so that we can bring change. We can buy properties. We can start building strip malls. We can start building places where these people that we're asking to come back to the city to be a part of bringing their business to the city. We have this infrastructure already built. We have means to build it.
Yes.
You know, we have contractors in this city. You know, many of your contractors in the city, we need you at the table to bring your wisdom, your skills, as well as your finances to the table so that we can immediately bring an impact. We're talking about dealing with homelessness in North Baton Rouge. We talk about that. We ride down the streets and we see signs out and people always on the corner. You know, as soon as they get out of shelters, they got to get out at a certain time in the morning and they're walking the streets or they're sleeping on the benches. You know, and that become a plight to the city, especially the businesses. So how do we address that? And one of the things that Brother Allen does is he deals with urban, and he deals with how to build structures that we can do this with. You know, I mean, we talk about structures that are based on energy costs.
Yes.
We're talking about dealing with satellites. We talk about being self-powered community. Also dealing with water, where communities are self-contained with their own water. You know, so these guys, we know they're not gonna, they can, but most of them is not gonna have immediate jobs to go pay for these type of things. But here's a place where they can come to get on their feet, to get a chance to educate themselves, become productive citizens in the community, to produce for a period at a time and a place to stay to develop, and then move on so someone else can take that place who may need that housing. You know, so there's a plan for that. There's a plan for that, and that's one of the things that he brings to the table, as well as a wealth of information and other structures, but he has a plan for that.
Absolutely. And let me just say, I think that it's a widely known fact, Pastor, that some of the communities in North Baton Rouge are the richest communities in Baton Rouge, from 11 o'clock in the morning on Sundays until about 2 o'clock.
Yes.
We have thousands of people that have left these communities and moved to other areas of the city that come back to these communities on Sundays to attend Sunday services.
Right.
All we're asking is that we're not going to get you back all at once.
Right.
We realize that. But all we're asking is that when you do come back to the neighborhood on Sundays, leave $1.
Yes.
We're only asking you to leave $1.
Yes.
Just $1 in the church that's devoted to this process and to what we're trying to accomplish in North Baton Rouge. Give us a little bit of time and we're going to rebuild this community so that you'll be happy to come back, and you'll be looking for an opportunity not only just to visit on Sundays, but to invest and to create new business opportunities. And if we're lucky, you'll move back in too, like I did.
Yes, absolutely. We're so excited that you took the time out to join us today. Share this podcast with other people in your community, even in your church, in your organizations, those of you in your businesses. Take a moment. Many of you got the monitors up and streams up in your business when people walk in. Have this podcast showing so your customers can come in and get exposed. That's something that's happening, emerging in North Baton Rouge to bring change, sudden change, because we're holding the people's purse, not the government's purse, the people's purse. And therefore, your money is making an immediate impact because you have to say so. You have the control of what we're going to do in this city. So, Sister Angella will give us a closing. Again, how you connect with us and be a part of what we're doing.
Right. Again, don't forget the website is Community Network Inc.org. Go to the website. And also you can give that dollar on Zeffy.com, ZEFFY.com. And hey, like I said, you can give more than $1. You might want to do 5, 10, or you might want to do 100. Knock yourself out. But we're so glad that you decided to tune in and join us. We'll be back next week with more great information, and not just information. We are going to be doing something. We're moving, we're shaking. The wheels on the bus go round and round. This bus is rolling, and we want you to get on and join us. So thank you for joining us right here at Community Connection Network Podcast. Hey, we got something going, and we want you to be in on it. Talk to you later.